Welcome you all. My name is Sangeet. Students, today we are going to study about the installation of Python. Very important concept, and you should know that what I have seen most of the students when they are unable to install Python, they do not practice it, right? You are not supposed to do like that, students. You need to practice. First of all, learn the basic concept about it. Now, along with this, in this video, the video will teach you about implementation, bytecode, compiler, interpreter, right? And many more things. Understood? Let's, without wasting our time, let's begin to the learning objective. Students, the learning objective, as I have shared with you, students are enabled to install Python. Learners are enabled to install Python. They will learn about the concept of implementation, bytecode, and interpreter and compiler. Let's now talk about the Python installation. First, very first, you can see on a screen, just you need to type there on Google Python download, right? The moment you will press and you will hit the enter, then you will see that next screen will be this, right? This will be the next screen. You can click, this is the first one, python.org, website, official website of Python. You just click on it, right? Then next step will be this one. Here I have just put on the image. That is the reason I'm cannot drag this, right? But if you see the screen, when this screen will come, here you can see the releases. All release, many more things are there, right? And afterwards, here after hitting enter, you can see here, means that depends. You need to check whether your computer is 64-bit or your computer is 32-bit, and which is the operating system. Are you following Ubuntu, right? Are you following Windows, Mac? That is, that depends, right? The moment you will click on it, it will be start processing and your Python will be installed. Understood? You can see students out here. See here, 64-bit it is, 64-bit it is for Windows, right? Just like this, you just need to click and you are enabled to install the Python. Now, let's talk about implementation. Friends, I think that you don't know about implementation, and I do not think so. You will find this concept in books as well. Implementation is what? If I ask you a question, you want to install a C language in your computer, then what do you install? You install C language or what? No. We people install the turbo C, like TC, the compiler of the language. We cannot say we are going to install the C language. It is a kind of TC. TC is a file, right? Turbo C language, which is used for installing C language. Same, if you want to go with the Linux, then you need to use the file which is GCC. GCC. This is the compiler which you have to use for the Linux. For Windows different, for Linux different, right? Same as Python has somewhere around 26 implementation. Roughly 26 implementation are there, right? And here you can see that C Python, Python, ARM Python, and PyPy. C Python is what? Do not think that C Python is that which like C language we need to learn. No, nothing is like that. It is just the name of implementation which is used for C language programmer. Next is Jython for Java, right? And this is Iron Python for C hash. And this is the PyPy. Understood? Students, now here I'm talking about C Python. C Python is what? C Python, uh, what happened when the Python was, introduced? There were, what was the best part of Python? There were many companies, those who were working upon C language. That is difficult for them to switch Python directly. What happens? C Python, what it does, C Python call the codes of C language into their framework and perform. Right? I don't want to speak that much about it so that you are getting confused. I'm just talking to you in a short way. J Python is what? Jython. In that case, when we have some project in Java, right? But for a new, right? Something new you are looking for, and you will get many more things in a Python. As you know that it is the latest language, some features you like it, and you want to use Python as well. Then what will happen? In if your program, your software already in Java, it is difficult for you to convert all codes into Python, right? And then you need to type again. This will be the solution. But what Python did, they created their somewhere around 26. You can say that roughly 26 implementation. This is called an implementation, right? Implementation, whereas you can call the codes of Java language. Same with Iron Python and same is PyPy. And students, all of you, as I told you, there are somewhere around 26. So this is called the implementation. I hope that you understood the meaning of implementation. Right? Now, next step, we are going to talk about very important concept, machine code. Right? Students, I just want to ask you, what is the source program? I hope that you know that source program is what, where did you type your code? That is not a source code, source code. Source code is what? The line of codes which you have written for creating a C language program, Java program, same as Python program. If I ask you students, any very simple question, what is machine? Machine is a combination of CPU and OS, operating system, right? Your hardware, your CPU, and plus OS. Keep in mind always. Students, now in C language or in other language, what happened? They converted their source code to a compiled compiled source code. It is an internal process actually, students, all of you, this is an internal process, right? Source code to, after compilation, machine, then CPU or OS. Students, I want to tell you, when you become the programmer, programmers do not sell their source code. Keep in mind always. Programmers do not sell their source code, they always sell their machine code, right? Because, and yes, and this was a drawback. Machine code that was understood by only one machine. If you have designed a course for, you have designed a software for Windows that was strictly designed for only Windows, right? Then there is a problem. I have designed a product. If I'm only enabled to sell in Punjab, let's take an example. There are 100 customers or 200 customers. Let's begin with any city. Suppose that in Pathankot, I have designed a software. A very less number of people will buy. I think only 20 will buy. Then I want to expand my product. I want in Pathankot everybody should buy. Then there will be 100 customers. Yes. Right after that, I thought, no, now in Punjab, or just like in entire India, same thing, students. If you want to design the code in Python language or in Java language, it is for all the machines. It is for all the operating system. It is compatible for all the operating systems, right? Let me tell you how and what they did. They introduced bytecode, right? Source code compiled, then it generates bytecode. Afterwards, there is here you can see the word PVM. It is called Python Virtual Machine. First, first, once the bytecode is generated, then it will be interpreted. Understood? Once the bytecode is generated, second time it will be a interpreted. This is the drawback of, you can say that, a Python or Java or other languages. They are little slow. Why they need to convert twice? That is why we call it Python is compiled and interpreted language. Python is compiled and interpreted language. Once you have the bytecode, then it depends what machine you are going to use. It creates the code according to that. Understood? PVM plays very important role. Python virtual machine, right? Ubuntu, Mac. Once we have the bytecode, it can convert it into any other. And let me give you some examples like Java, like Python, pizza. You, I'm not talking about pizza, that is for eating. Pizza is also a programming language which generates bytecode, right? Scala. This is also a programming language which is used for which generates bytecode. Understood? These are the very important concepts and best part of Python. Or we can say that another side, one drawback is also there because here the codes direct deal with machine CPU plus OS and only standalone. It is only for single operating system. Keep in mind machine code when we generate. When we are talking about bytecode, the software which you have created in Java, Python, Pizza, Scala, that can be used for any machine, right? Now, the user of Ubuntu, Windows, Mac, everybody can use your software, right? So I hope that this is the best part. You need to, in the future also, you need to convert and you need to switch to a Python. You need to create your softwares in Python so that it can be sold across the world. Students, now I want to talk about use of help. What is help function? Help function is what? Here you can see that. I just press here. Yes, right. Now you can see that help. All of you, please focus at these three asterisks. I type here wherever in programming language. Wherever in programming language, you will find these two words along with any name that means it is a function. Right? Keep in mind. Now I press C. The prompt has been changed. Now it is help. This is the first student's programming language which in which you can study as well, right? There are some concepts which you don't know. You suppose that you don't know how many keywords are there and what are the keywords, right? You just type here, keywords are the reserved words which we cannot use as unique. There are 33 keywords in Python and somewhere around 68 modules. Understood? These are, you can check, there will be 33 keywords in a Python, and yes, we always use like a is equal to 10. We cannot use if is equal to 10 because these are the reserved words by the Python, right? Which we cannot change. If you want to use what is print, right? See, what is print function? It can also teach you. Print function, value separator, and all these. You can read all the statements and you will come to know. If you do not have book, right? No, but you have to buy the book, students. Let me tell you, the Python has this wonderful feature which means teaches you everything. It's ideal. It works like a kind of book as well, right? So you can study anything. Students, I hope that you have understood all, and I think that in the future, when you have any doubt regarding any function, you can search like this, right? I hope that you have enjoyed the session, and I I can feel that you learned a lot. Whatever I wanted to teach you, uh, I believe that you have learned a lot. So thanks for your time. Have a great day ahead.